actually built in there kind of like mop heads, right? So they're just going to end up lubricating those wheels. And then we're going to lubricate every bar. And a lot of them are grease. We also have to feed that oil, right? So there's 6 or 7 grease exerts here. We're going to lubricate every joint. So a little of that one. Now this one, I'll have to do that one actually when I get out to Echo Valley. I'll have to jump out because we like to lubricate them every single trip. And today we're going to be riding with the number 3 quarter engine. This was built in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1927, and she is actually a coal-fired, steam-powered locomotive. And we're going to be riding on this 2-foot narrow gauge railroad, which is actually laying in the original rail bed of the standard gauge Midland Terminal Railroad that ran from Divide all the way up here to Cripple Creek from 1894 until 1949 when they dismantled that old railroad and turned it into the highway that you guys use to get here into Cripple Creek. All right, you guys ready? Yes. All right, here we go. Folks, here on the right side of the train, you'll see this 2-story brick building here. That is actually the original train depot for the town of Cripple Creek. That building was built in 1894. Ran as a depot until 1949. Reopened in 1953 as the district museum. They got some really cool stuff in there about the local turquoise mines that are byproducts of all the gold we have around here. All right, guys, I'm going to get a chance to talk to you again at the top of the grade. You guys enjoy those views on the way. The hill there, well, that's what's left of the Corner Mine. Now the Corner Mine actually produced about $3 million in its day worth of gold. Now just keep in mind, I'm going to just give you all these numbers back when gold was around $20 an ounce compared to the current value, which is almost $2,400 an ounce. Fill. Now this actually used to be a 400-foot long wooden trestle that ran through here. However, all the elements started to break it down, so we filled it in with all this low-grade gold ore after they tore that thing down. Now in today's market of over $2,400 or about $2,400 an ounce, there is well over $1 million worth of gold right here below us. However, don't start jumping off the train and start stuffing your fanny packs full of rocks, because it's going to take you somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 tons of this old ore to create 1 ounce of gold. Sorry, folks, it looks like I didn't bring quite enough coal. Are you guys ready to help me push it? Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right, guys. You know, whenever miners first got here to this area, it was actually known as Squaw Gulch, but it later got renamed Echo Valley. Are you guys ready to figure out why we call it Echo Valley? Hello.
That's why we could hear it in town, and you were wondering where it is. Remember, we were in town and you said it sounds like it's right here?
Yes. What's that?
How do you light it in the first place?
Oh, you know what? We try not to have to light it too much. So in the evening, what I'll do is I'll bank it with a whole bunch of coal, so it'll almost go all night. So then as soon as I come in the morning, I start raking it, and that fire's. This is another one of those areas because we're about to go up a grade where we got to load really heavy, you know. A lot of coal. This one right here, you'll see we raise this track, it still chugs to get up, but there were times when it would rain, where, especially with the hinge because the weight was all in the back rear tender, so we would just spin out and you'd have to back down and drop sand, back as far down as you can and just fly up there, you know?
Holy cow.
Now it does pretty good now. Be able to walk all the way over here to Cripple Creek, never coming above ground. Hang on. All right. Hey, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
I love trains so much. This is awesome. Wow. This is so cool. There's so much stuff in here. Cripple Creek stuff. Train gold bottles. They even have... Oh! That's pretty cool. Like knives, and then they have bookends. I'm a fan of the music.
Yeah.
Oh wow. You can even get something before you go on the train. You can even buy Lionel here. That's awesome. The Lion Chief set. Thomas and Friends. Time for a puppet show. Oh my gosh, Kat, look. Train tic-tac-toe. I never thought I'd see a train tic-tac-toe. That's awesome.
That's so cute.
Super cool. So much stuff too. Ornaments, Lionel trains, t-shirts, signs, everything.